Dear viewer, as I said before, we are receiving a new leadership that will be delivering result for our community. His name is Mr. Ariane N. LENDZONDZO, also known as Malik, was born in Gabon, a small country situated in the equator in Western Africa. He earned his bachelor degree, right? Yeah, a bachelor degree in political science and economy from Howard University in Washington, D.C. Malik also held a Master of Science degree in Information System with a concentration in security. He worked in the educational sector for decades, first as high school French instructor and currently working as data analyst for a local charter school in Washington, D.C. Yeah, I'm going to stop there. Thank you once again, Mr. Malik, and welcome to Media to Africa.
Thank you, Marshall. Thank you for your good job.
It's a pleasure having you here today.
Sure.
I know you are there fighting for our community.
Yes, we have to put some fight. You know, we have nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody to fight for us. So I think this is a time. This is our time to fight back.
So you're running as a delegate for the District 20.
Right. You know, a lot of folks been wondering and asking, what is the delegate?
Right.
So I wanted to make it clear once more time. A delegate is actually play the same role as a congressman.
Okay.
So our job is to make laws and make sure that you know, the community is running perfectly and following laws and regulation in the society.
Yeah, we also need to recentralize our viewer. Where is District 20 situated around?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah.
So District 20, whoever live in White Oak, Silver Spring, downtown Silver Spring, and Tacoma Park, part of the Four Corners, those are the folks that are in District 20. So everybody that lives in those areas, you know, you have to register and vote for me.
Okay, you have to register and vote for our brother, Mr. Malik. It's so easy to say that, Mr. Malik. But now, why should I, an African citizen, and a naturalized American citizen, would vote for you?
Well,
why?
First of all, if I'm elected, I'll be the first African-born American elected in this position in the history of the United States of America.
That's a huge difference. You're going to make history if it happens then.
So if you want to be a part of the history, then this is an opportunity for you to be a part of the history. So that's just to start with.
Okay.
Secondly, in Montgomery County, and let me say even in Maryland, we are one of the fastest growing community, the African community.
Yes.
So, because we are a community that is, you know, we work here, we have you know, children, you know, born here, they go to school here, we pay taxes. We need some representation, which is absolutely nothing. We have nobody actually to represent now, to speak our suffering, our problems. So I thought it's just natural for me to stand up and then to bring that new voice that never been heard before, and have a seat at the table of decision-making operation, so that I can represent folks like you, yourself, right, and myself, and everybody else that live in our community. Not only the African community, but you want to talk about, you know, white as well. Everybody that live in District 20. If you live in downtown Silver Spring, if you live in Tacoma Park, if you live in White Oak, if you live in Four Corners, you know I will represent you the way I represent everybody. So
today we're going to be talking about some of your plan of action. We will be talking about improving transportation, the criminal justice reform, and immigration reform. Let's start about improving transportation in District 20. How do you plan to do?
Right. You know, not to discount everything you said, but actually one of my number one issue is actual education.
Okay.
Transportation is very important. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, since the population in Montgomery grows every year,
right,
and sometimes it takes folks a long time to go from their jobs to the house to spend some time with the families. So because the traffic situation is so it causes a problem in our district. So what I want to do is to be a part of this movement that make sure that we have a purple line. The purple line is an alternative that we want to bring into Montgomery County to help expedite the amount of people going for work and coming back from work, so that they can be getting home easily and spend time with their family. So I'm with that project, purple line. But also, if elected, what I want to do is to work with any other elected official to make sure that we invest even more in modern ways of transportation. If you go to Japan, for example, even in France, they have a high-speed train.
Right.
And you want to make sure that we have that, because in a modern economy like the United States, it's unacceptable to have the kind of transportation problem that we have. So you want to make sure that the folks, when they go to work, they have to be back home in real time, so they can spend time with their families.
Yeah, okay, so that's the plan about transportation. But my question is, those high-speed trains, is it not a choice for the American government not to invest in those type of high-speed train, or what's the problem?
Well, that's why I'm running.
Okay.
If you see something that seems to be obvious,
okay,
and you say, okay, you say to yourself, why this is not happening?
Right.
And if you've been voting for people over and over again, and folks like you still ask this question,
right?
Why we don't have the kind of means of transportation in the modern America? So that's why I want to bring that out of a box way of thinking on the table, to make sure that folks understand this is a town. We have to make sure that people that live in Montgomery, in the Maryland period, have that way of transportation, just like other countries like Japan or France.
Yeah, in your plan you also talk about creating new jobs and increasing affordable houses.
Yes.
Okay, how do you plan to make it happen?
Listen, I don't know if you heard of the Amazon coming in Maryland.
Okay.
Amazon is one of the fastest, one of the biggest company in America.
Definitely.
Now, they want to move one of the headquarters in Maryland, and that is going to create a lot of jobs, obviously. But the problem is, those good jobs that Amazon will create, you will see the housing industry taking a chance on increasing rental. Now imagine, the African community is a community that usually have businesses.
Right.
All of a sudden they will see their businesses, the rental going up. It will make it impossible for them to do business. You will see people that live in the Montgomery, the Montgomery areas, downtown Cedar Street, Tacoma Park, White Oak. The cost of rental will go up for regular folks like you and me. So, consequently, you're going to have to leave the area. You have to move from that area.
Maybe move to Gettysburg or somewhere.
Absolutely.
Right.
So, now, the job of a government official, elected official, is to make sure that they see those problems in advance and trying to bring some solution, so that any developers that come in our area that are trying to build housing have to have regular folks in their mind. If you build some new housing and it's in a price where people cannot afford, then you are discounting you're not thinking about the regular folks.
Right.
So what we have to do,
we're just thinking about making more money.
And expert or saying it's gonna be even tougher. It's gonna be harder for folks going forward in the future. So we have to make sure we make some laws and regulations that protect working families, and even those who will be a part of the working class.
Yeah, but now, is that something easily doable? You know, those folks, they have big time money and they can try to play with legislation on favor. Yeah. So, are you ready to fight against those lobby and all those?
You know, and I'm glad you mentioned lobbies.
Yeah.
You know, some folks receive money from lobbies.
Right.
I can tell you, I don't receive any money from any special interest. And I'm glad. I'm glad because when I go to Annapolis, I will make sure that I represent the people that put me in office. I don't have to go and and explain myself to special interests, and that's the beauty of it. And I'm part of those people that want to make sure that we kick out of politics big money. Because what happened is that most things that you see around here, if we don't achieve a lot of stuff, because special interests pay those politicians.
Right.
And then and you see around here, the same people, every year, they get into office, and guess what? They don't get anything done because they don't work for the people. They work for those special interests. And then come to find out, you will come next year speak about the same problem, the same question you're asking right now. And they don't care.
Right.
If I receive big money from corporations, I don't care about you. But that's why I say, you know what? I'm running my campaign. It's about people, about lifting people up. So that I know it's hard. It's extremely hard to work to run a campaign the way I run. But at the end of the day, if the people understand the importance of what I'm doing, then they will vote for me, and then together, this is not just me.
Right.
Together, the community will come together and solve some of the problem that chronic in our communities.
So, Mr. Malik, what gonna make our viewer put their trust in you, knowing that most of the political folks, when they want to get elected, they have sweet word, and as they are elected, they switch around and play their own game?
Excellent question. Now, just like I told you, some of these folks, some of these politicians, they're not bad people. They're good people. They just happen to be
in the wrong place at the wrong time.
No, they are trapped in a circle of big money.
Right.
Because if somebody give you a job, you know you're gonna be following these people instructions. That's why I don't want the people of Montgomery, District 20, to hire me. I don't want no corporation to hire me. So that when you tell me to do something, I will do it, because guess what? Next time I will come back to you and ask you to vote for me again. Now, and if some of these people, if they come and says whatever they say they know they're not gonna do it, and at the back of the head they know they have the backup of big money, so they don't care. So, as being an immigrant, I went through a process that I know to be very difficult and sometimes painful for families. That's me. That's my life. So part of what I'm doing right here is to call on the immigrant community to understand that if they have me in the office, I'll be working for their interests as well. And I believe you said you have a question on immigration as well.
Yeah,
but I wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, we're going to get there. Yeah. Before that, I'm going to invite our viewer to take a special break and go with a publicity that we are preparing and ready for you. Over to you.